Look at that monster beehive right there. Ooh, look at that. That thing is nasty. It's about two size. It's like the size of a, well, it's probably bigger than a rugby ball. So after looking at 60 different houses, this whole process took about, right about 3 months. Finally landed on this house here. We purchased this house for the Hard Knock State Home Renovation Project, where I'm going to show you, if you're a handy person or if you have some kind of skills in construction, that you can take it upon yourself to start buying and renovating your own houses for extra income. I'm not selling any home renovation products here. I'm not selling a home renovation service. All I'm doing is I'm shooting these videos to show you that it's not as difficult as you might think it is. Although I do have a pretty extensive construction background, I know there's many more out there that have way more expertise and knowledge in construction and residential construction than I do. And this home here, I'm going to renovate. I believe this is going to be my 5th house. Every house that I've bought, and I've always looked for the worst house in the best neighborhood that I could afford. And then I go in and I start making the renovations. And then when I sell it for market value. It's exactly what the other homes are going for. What we're going to do now, we'll kind of walk the outside perimeters of the house, kind of assess what's going on with it. So all in all, this house is in pretty good condition. We had it inspected, multiple different inspections, not only just a home buyer's inspection, but we also had the foundation inspected, which is a must down here in Texas, and then also the sewer inspected, and everything checked out. Everything passed, so we're good to go. Structural wise, the house is in great shape. Really, it's just cosmetic. This is a vinyl siding on the outside of the house, and it looks pretty solid. We don't have to, do a siding job on it. That's one of the benefits of the vinyl, if it's in good shape and will stand the test of time. A lot of the vinyl siding, you'll find it does, get brittle over the years. Of course, that's going to be many years, but it does get brittle and it'll break down. This is a 2-car garage. As you can see, the garage on the right-hand side, the door is in fine shape. However, this one is been damaged a little bit. You can see right up there at the top, it's pushed in, of course, right there at the bottom as well. And this crack in the driveway, this is pretty typical of what you're going to find with concrete due to the soil conditions here in the area. We also have on the walkway going up, as you can see, the difference in the level there. So we're going to have to, that's a trip hazard. And you can see where it's actually pulled away from the actual foundation and sunken in a little bit. So we're going to have to find a way to jack that up a little. Shouldn't be too difficult. And of course, this is our sewer line that runs all the way down. And we might have to get some topsoil out here, a couple yards, and at least a couple truckloads, and fill this all in and get it all nice and level, and maybe put in some new sod or some new grass. Now, brick facing on it, and again, coming around to the side, we do have, again, the vinyl siding. Now, one thing we're going to have to work on here is we are going to put an irrigation system around the side of the house, on the side of the foundation, set it up all automatically, and there's going to be a little bit of concrete patchwork we're going to have to do. This here is a drainage hole or pipe here that, as you can see, it was cut off or broke off, and it looks like it's been that way for a while. As you can see, it's kind of eroded away some of the finished concrete on the foundation. The cyclone fencing, of course, that is going to have to be brought back up and leveled out. And it is. I've already kind of looked at it. It shouldn't be too difficult. Next thing we're going to do is, on the outside, is we're going to take the slab that the AC unit is resting on, and we're going, as you can see, it's held up, or it also is sunken, and it's being propped up with 2x4s and some landscaping bricks. So we're going to clean that all out, and then we're going to level that back up properly. But it is in great shape. It's in running just fine, very strong unit. And of course, as you can see down here along the foundation, how the ground is almost like the grade of it is running back into the foundation, which that is a big no-no. You want it to go opposite of the house. I just noticed this. So there's a little crack there in that side. So we're going to have to fix that as well. Of course, we're going to have to trim all these trees here, get them off of the house altogether. Now the inspector noted that the roof was in great shape, didn't look too old. I do see there's a solar panel, and I'm really curious. I don't know what these are, but the solar panel's on the top of the roof. And I know that's a little difficult right there to see, but they're there. They've got to be there for a reason. Don't know exactly what that reason is, but we'll figure that out as well as we get further on in the renovation. Now, one thing that we're going to start doing when we start working on the outside of the house, the exterior of the house, is we're going to take a minimum of a 2-foot perimeter around the foundation of the house. We're going to get away all the vegetation away from it, including this tree. And I don't know if you could see this, but look at that monster beehive right there. Ooh, look at that. That thing is nasty. It's about it's like the size of a, well, it's probably bigger than a rugby ball, but you think of a football size, that's like 2 or 3. If you were to take that size of a football and increase it 2 or 3 times, that's the size of that hive. So how long has that thing been there, right? So that thing is nasty. This is where I'm gonna have to call a professional out to take that out. I just won't mess with bees. It's not something I'm into. And of course, vegetation in the back. This has just been kind of forgotten about for some time. That happens once, you know, families get older, kids grow up, people start venturing out, and I believe that's probably the reason why they sold this house. They just didn't need it anymore. But got a nice shed in the back. All right, I'm going to open this thing up here, see what we're working with. Oh, there's stuff in there. It's kind of like those storage TV shows, huh? What's in it? What's it going for? This looks like just stuff that the last owner didn't want, but a nice storage and a barn style storage with a loft. That's always a good thing. I'm not really too concerned with the storage shed, but that is a fairly nice shed. And if we clean that up, we'll have to, of course, looks like the siding is going on it. So we'll have to replace that T111 siding on it. And then we're going to have to put a new composition roof on it as well. But, all in all, that's very minimal, and it's probably going to be one of the last things we do here. Now, the people who bought this house when they was brand new, these must have been ballers. I mean, I'm talking ballers. This neighborhood was built, I just talked to the neighbors, in 1981. And so check that out. Can you see that? Let me flip this around. All right. Look at that. I haven't seen one of these in years. Look at that. It's one of those old satellite dishes. Man, and if you had one of these, man, you were doing well back then. Look at that thing. And that's how, instead of, if you wanted to get around cable and get a lot more channels, you bought one of these dishes or rented them and then, paid for the service. And that dish would spin in different directions based off of what channel you were watching at what certain time of the day. But, little piece of history right there. Of course, that is a big thing of scrap metal now. And that thing will have to be gone. But hopefully, with it being all metal, maybe we can recoup some of the money and scrap it out there. A lot of trees in this backyard here, a lot of trees, and which is really nice. Of course, they're all going to need trimming and pruning, and this backyard is like the front. It's going to need some TLC to get it brought back up to a sellable condition. All right, now we're coming into the patio, the back patio here, just a concrete patio slab, and it's actually in pretty nice shape. It's not cracked. It does look like it's sloped down away from the house, which is nice. It has also pulled away from the foundation and settled a little bit, this pad. Not too concerned with this pad. Looks like it's sloping in the right direction where water runoff will flow away from the house. So that's not a huge concern for me. We'll just clean up some of this broken stuff and, maybe patch that up and make it look all nice again. But plenty of power outlets all around, exterior power outlets. This side of the house is nice big picture windows, and you'll see on the inside they have nice window sills, nice big thick window sills that I'm thinking about already turning into benches because of the size of them and the depth of them are pretty good. Now I've noticed on both of these vents up here, and my home inspector caught this as well, but it's worse on the other side. It looks like the screens, or when they built these, they didn't put screens on them on the reverse side in the attic up there. So that's one thing we're going to have to do, is we're going to have to go up, and as you can see, there's debris up there where birds have taken, sticks and built little nests, and we got to make sure that there's no birds up there. The inspector did not see any, didn't see any kind of life form up there, so we should be good just to clean up and attach some screens, and then we're good to go. Little things like this, these little caps, of course, those are probably going to have to be replaced. So the front door here, this is definitely going to have to be replaced. Not that it's a bad door, it's a nice metal security door, but it's old, it's tired. We want to bring it back to its glory and make it very attractive to all buyers who come in and view the house. One thing I'm always a fan of are hallways when you walk into a door, like a foyer or an entryway. Instead of it just opening up into the living room, this is an area where people could come in and wait for the person that they're coming into the house to see to come out and greet them and then bring them into the house. And also it's extra privacy too, which I personally really like about this hallway feature. And somebody's at the front door, you got to sign for a package. It's always awful when you open the door and they're looking in your house and you're wondering if they're casing the joint or whatnot. But so this does give you a separation between your living quarters and the front door. But again, it's going to need some work. This is the all old original tile here, original molding on the floors, the running boards, baseboards. It looks like the texture of this wall here. This is just a rolled on sand texture, so that should be very easy to work with. And any patchwork to the drywall, such as where this door is, again, it looks like they had put, the stopper there for the door handle, but I don't know if this is a different kind of door handle than where the stopper line, because nothing lines up there. But at one time, something hit that, and you can see I got put my finger right through it. So now the door handle just hits the wall and has gone into the drywall. And so, of course, that's all going to have to be fixed up. The door, as you can see, it's just, we could paint it, but again, I'd like to get a nice new front door. And I think the next buyer, the next owner of this house would appreciate a nice, elegant door. So we don't have much in the way of light here in the living area. And so this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, just shy of 1,300 square feet. But look at these windows. These are just massive. Love these picture windows. I love, look at the size of those windowsills. Until we get furniture in the house, right? Got a place to sit, have my morning coffee. One thing I'm considering doing with this wall is just taking it out completely. Now it's always, consideration of whether this is a load-bearing wall or whether it's just a separation. Now, with them having cut this hole out or having it built that way, and kind of looked at this wall, it does run through the kitchen, and it runs through and goes through the exterior wall of the garage and ends right there. We'll come back and we'll take a look at the garage in a minute, but here is your dining area. It's got a chandelier, pretty nice looking chandelier. Where the design we're going to go with in this house is going to be a little bit more modern. There's nothing wrong with that chandelier. I actually think it's a beautiful chandelier. Who knows, maybe we'll keep it. But there's a lot of cool, like artish types of chandeliers out there for dining areas. And of course, we're going to take up that tile. We're going to take up this original, like this looks like the original style Pergo snap lock floors. The laminate flooring. And so this is all just going to get torn out. It's all going to get new floors. But all in all, the walls in this room look pretty decent. There is some patchwork that we're going to have to do. And of course, these have the old, popcorn ceilings from, the 70s and 80s. And I don't know why these were popular back then. I guess it just added a little texture, a little something to the ceilings. And the ductwork, being it's a slab foundation, doesn't come up through the floor, so it goes through the attic space and then drops down below. And as you can see, all that ductwork, I don't know if you could take a look at that. I know, the lighting's pretty bad, but I'll show you in other rooms. But you can see the black soot that it has pushed through. That's actually just dust. And so when it pushes through with the angle of the ventilation of that vent, it just blows that dust from your ductwork, along and gets caught on that popcorn ceiling, which is why, duct cleaning services are more popular today than what they ever have been ever before. Now, part of the home shifting, settling, and foundations, the side effects of that, if you will, the outcome of what that does, even if it moves a little bit, is it does crack the drywall. It cracks the drywall, cracks the ceilings. Homes normally settle. Any new construction home that you buy, it's going to settle a little bit, and that's just, the wood just settling down. But as they build it, and they're nailing everything together, they're framing the walls, they put the roof on, and then they do the drywall inside, and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have time. Those new houses don't have time to settle before they drywall it. So they just go ahead and drywall it, and then it will create little small cracks, such as this, as you can see right there. Like that's not even a crack. It looks like that's just maybe at one point it cracked a little bit there and they taped it up. But that all looks like it's original texturing on the drywall itself. So I don't think that's the case. I think that just the drywall tape is pulling up there. But I will show you an area, and this is going to be kind of prevalent in the other rooms as well. But if you can see right up there, there's a separation, small separation between the ceiling, the popcorn ceiling, and the drywall itself. And that all is part of the home settling. And so the foundation on this house, it's within its variance to be acceptable, and not to a point to where the actual slab has to be jacked up itself. But as I mentioned earlier, it does cause this kind of stuff. This is the aftermath. Now this kitchen is straight from the 80s. I mean, early 80s. It's got the, that orange kind of yellowish countertops. Everything's the dark, wood brown cabinets, and it's not really in the best of shape. I do love the kitchen sink faucet, And I think we're just going to keep that. It actually is going to go perfect with the design of all the other fixtures that I'm going to add into it. All right, so this is the kitchen. They did take the refrigerator with them, which is kind of standard. People choose to leave it with the house. I mean, refrigerators are expensive, as we all know. I don't fault anybody. I don't fault anybody for taking the fridge. Of course, we're going to get all new appliances anyway. And so, but look at these old cabinets. Man, that brings me back to when I was just a little kid, right? So this, again, this wall here, this with this cutout, this is something I'm going to have to work with. I might open this up a little bit. I might just take that wall down to take it out completely and just put like a breakfast eating area on the other side of it. We'll have to see how it all plays out. But one thing's for sure is we're getting all new cabinets, new floors, new appliances, and of course a new overhead vent for the stove. All right, moving on back down the hallway. Do have a nice little utility closet right there, with hanging up coats, winter jackets, that kind of thing. It does have a very nice updated thermostat, which I'm very happy about. That's one less thing I got to worry about. All right, so we're going to go into the first bedroom here. This is not the master. It's one of the guest bedrooms or just secondary bedrooms. And again, this is a 4-bedroom, full 2-bath house. Here's that first bedroom we're going to take a look at. Kind of a smaller room, but actually not too small. You see we got more vent and dirt and popcorn ceilings we got to work with. One thing I've noticed about just about every room has got one hole, or there's a hole of some sort in the drywall. But a little bit of separation there. That is very, very minimal. And again, we're going to remove all these popcorn ceilings, this old paint, that's all coming down. Now this is crazy because it's not a sliding closet door. It's actually a door on a hinge. What I might do is I might put the barn style door on there so they could slide it open, save room versus having the door swing open. But look at that. That's the old door. Look at that thing, how it's all bowed. Isn't that crazy? And if you ever want to see the inside of these cheap interior doors, look at that. They're hollow and they're just like cardboard filled in that, like a honeycomb. So they got a nice, chair border, along the wall there. That is going to come off. And of course, all the paint is going to, every room is going to get repainted. The whole house's interior is going to get repainted. This is where you can really see a better example of the separation when the foundations settle. And again, this is very minimal. Now going into the third bedroom here, boy, I'll tell you, they've got different flooring a little bit in different rooms. But that, you live in a house for a long period of time, that's just going to happen. One of your kids or somebody renting a room might want a different style floor. This is actually a tile floor. These are very popular today. Unfortunately, it's pretty. There's a lot of garbage around, as you can see. Of course, that's an easy cleanup. But as much as I like this floor and I hate tearing up something that looks nice, it's going to have to go. Nice big closet. Of course, the closet doors are missing. I don't know what people do with closet doors. I just can never figure that out. Can't figure out why they take them off and what they do with them after they take them off, but they're gone. And so there's a little bit, cracking there that we're gonna have to deal with. And again, more separation. This room does have crown molding. It's one of the only rooms that does. We're gonna remove all that. We're gonna bring everything together to where all the rooms are, they look the same. I don't want to have a lot of differences between the different rooms. I want to keep everything uniformed. This room is a little smaller, just like the first bedroom we looked at. The closet is bigger, of course, but it is smaller than this bedroom for sure. So then we have a linen closet, nice linen closet. Again, more separation there that we're going to have to work with. And then this is where your furnace is. I've seen this in so many houses where they put the furnace inside the house. I'm used to having the furnace in the garage, but the hot water heater's in the garage. This furnace, believe it or not, it checked out great. The inspection on it said it was running really strong. It just needs to be cleaned up a bit, that's all. All right, so we're going to come into the first bathroom here. And again, it's got the original tile, the original vanity. Sink's got to go. Everything's going to go in here. We might keep the toilet. It's a newer toilet, energy efficient. But it looked like they wanted to put some tile in here, do some nice tile work. They must have ran out of steam because the project was just never finished. And believe it or not, I've seen a lot of houses on the market to where the owners had great intentions and they were going to do a renovation themselves, and they either run out of budget or they ran out of time or they just ran out of energy and just kind of gave up on it. But one thing I love about the age of these houses, from the 60s to the mid 80s, early 80s, they used copper piping, which I think is just phenomenal. Everything, newer is PVC or the flex pipe. And, the PVC piping might hold up for a good amount of time, but it definitely won't hold up like copper. And especially if the foundation shifts and you're on a slab foundation and they use PVC piping. I looked at a house that you could see the PVC piping coming through the foundation, like the foundation was eroded from or chipped away from its settling. And then you could actually see the plumbing, one of the plumbing pipes going through, and it was PVC going through concrete. So I'm not sure how smart that was. It was probably an oversight at the time when they were building those houses. But, if you see PVC piping going through concrete and there's a shift in the foundation, you're probably going to have to get the plumbing under the house fixed too. So now we're on to the last bedroom. This is the master bedroom. And just old original carpet. Again, old original baseboards. Another hole in the wall. Nice, huge closet. I mean, this closet is absolutely massive. Look at the size of that. I mean, it literally goes from the door to the wall. And, these here, they're about 5 foot. Maybe they look a little larger than 4 feet. So they're probably 4.5, 5 foot doors. So it's probably a 10-foot closet, 9 or 10-foot closet. I don't know why it'd be 9. They usually don't go that way. It's usually going to be 10. Oh, I get one door. So we're going to have to get new closet doors for every room, which is a no big deal. It's a real easy fix. And again, this is probably the worst of the dust blowing here against the popcorn ceiling. And that's all going to be cleaned out. Popcorn's going to be gone. New vent covers, everything. And, just about every single plate and switch we're gonna have to redo. It's just the dirt buildup over the time. You can see it on the edges. You want it to, again, have a good brand new feel to the house. Now, the one thing I do like, these windows are all relatively newer windows. And so I lucked out on that one. I was kind of hoping that I wasn't going to have to come in and replace the windows. Although if I would have had to, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. This is probably the most, right here, this area, this corner going into the master bath. This is probably the most severe of the cracking that you're going to see. But even in new construction homes, this is the type of cracking once a house settles that you might see. And again, it may not have anything to do with the foundation, just may have to do with the wood from when it was built and all nailed together, just settling down a little bit. And so here's our master bathroom. And this looks like it's doorless. So we're probably going to put the sliding barn style door on this also. And coming into the master bath itself, fan is completely gone. We're going to replace all that. Another old school vanity, newer toilet, but old school vanity. And hey, look, all this stuff, you live in a house, and the beautiful thing about owning a home and living in it is that if you're planning on being there a while, you don't got to do it all in the same day. You could do a bathroom 1 month, and next month tackle another bath, and do medicine cabinets, because this is just a hole in the wall, just like the other bathroom. But all this tile is going to go. This is all just old school tile. Actually, it looks like nice tile work, but as you can see, there's some mold buildup on the caulking, the dish, the soap dish soap holder, that's gone, that's broken off, and again, all the paint starting to peel from the top of the ceiling there. So again, all that's going to be replaced. That same crack kind of follows the other side of the wall there, so that's all going to be taken care of as well. All right, so come out of the master bath. It's one room left to look at, and that's going to be the garage. There's some work that's going to need to be done in there because, husbands need their man caves. I know that's one of the first things I look at when I go to buy a house, is I look at the garage. It's just the guy in me, right? Wives, women, they're probably going to look at the master bedroom, the master bath, and the kitchen before they make their decision. They can care less about the garage in most cases. Let's take a look at this. All right, so hey, nice big open garage. This here, let's shut this door. Now the lighting is pretty poor in here, but this here, they have the washer hookup. This is how the home was built. They have the washer hookup on one side, on the left side of the door, and on the right side of the door is your dryer hookup. So you got washer on the one side, dryer on the next. Open door, no big deal. Okay, I have no problem with washers and dryers being in the garage. Saves a lot of space and noise from entering the house. So what we're looking at over here, of course, this door right over here, that is your door going back into the kitchen. So that's the entrance into the house. This door is your hot water heater. And then of course we have our circuit box there. And then that's our access to the attic up there. Now the taping on the ceiling, the drywall taping is going to all need to be redone. And of course, we're going to just go through and retape all this. There's some areas where it kind of looks like some of this drywall is nailed, but in the center it's kind of bowing down a little bit. I don't know if that's just unevenness in the joist. It kind of looks like it, because now I'm seeing tape marks and nail marks where that has happened. But check this out. This here, as you can see, the drywall from the ceiling over your header beam on the garage door going down, and then it's just sagging right there. So that wasn't even screwed up there completely. I've got one garage door opener. Apparently that garage door opener does work. I don't have a remote for it. This one, they just removed the whole unit itself. I mean, structurally, this thing's probably gone. Quite honestly, we're probably going to get new garage doors. And then let's take a look at this hot water heater. So this here, now the cabinet of it, let me stand back and take a look at that. So it looks like it's nice, right? It looks like a newer unit. Well, that's what you would see at first glance. That's just the insulation around it. It's got a good insulation around the heater and the water heater. But if we look up closely to this, at the bottom, see all that rust buildup? You're supposed to drain your hot water heater every 6 months. The water that goes into it, It has sediment in it. That sediment sinks to the bottom, and then it starts eating away at the actual water heater unit itself. And then over a course of time, it starts rusting out. So this hot water heater, now the core of it, the heating core of it, the heating element is probably in fine shape, but the actual container itself is going to have to be replaced. One thing I'm not doing today is going up into the crawl space. That's going to be another day. And I already kind of know what's up there. I've seen the photos of it from when the home inspector took a look at it. But I'm going to get to work on this right away. As soon as this video is done and we're done editing the video and we get it all uploaded, I'm putting my coveralls on and we're going to work. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean. And I'm going to get all the floors clean. I'm going to try to clean up the walls as much as possible. But I like to have a clean house before we start getting into work and delving into that. It just makes everything for me, makes everything go a little bit easier. I like to have things clean. I like to have things neat and organized. And for me, the project will go smoother. It will go quicker if it's in that clean, neat, organized state. So, hey, follow along, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. There's every day we're working on this house. Follow along. I think you're going to like what you see.